What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about efficient ways to spend your gold, where you should be dropping it in terms of leveling up or gearing up your characters or improving their power overall, traps with it, talk a little bit about best ways to farm gold as well, especially when it comes to efficiency in terms of how you're spending your campaign energy. We're going to talk about quite a bit in today's video that's focused on gold. If you guys do enjoy this video, you find it helpful or informative, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's dive right into it. So gold is pretty much a nasty little bottleneck in this game. Everything that you have to do to increase your character's power revolves around gold, and gold is not in good supply. You're gonna be spending a lot, especially as you're gearing up your characters, you're improving the gear tiers, you're improving their levels. It's gonna get expensive, and that is kind of what we're focusing on, is because there's all these different ways to increase the power of your characters. We want to focus on what's going to be most efficient for your character, and also talk about which places you can be farming your gold the most efficiently. And of course, we do have to mention the challenges in terms of the Forge in the Jeep challenge, the treasure trove, where you use your light characters to farm up gold. I've completed tier 6 on this, and it recommends 18,000 power. I've actually gotten nowhere close to that in terms of what I'm using to unlock tier 6, and got that at auto win. I was actually using about 12,000 power on my light team, and the characters in terms of who I was using was Strider, Halbarad, Lady Eowyn, Arwen, and Eomer. That was pretty good for me, and that was significantly below the power level recommendation for that challenge. Arwen I've actually found is really, really good, and again, you'll be seeing an in-depth review of Arwen this weekend. Eomer and Eowyn have very good synergies there. Halbrad's just really good at healing. I cruised through that tier 6 pretty easily, which was nice because that's 40,000 gold per win, and you'll get 12,000, or you get 120,000, and times 3 challenges. That's a solid 360,000 gold a week from doing tier 6. Now you do have to get up to level 50 to do tier 6 of the challenges, which will take some time. That's some grinding. I've been playing since close to day 1 on the alt account, and we're just now getting it. So about a month is how long it's going to take you to get to level 50. If you're doing energy refreshes like I am, probably looking a bit closer to a month and a half if you're not doing energy refreshes every day. Now, in terms of what's going to be the most efficient way to increase your character's power, you have 3 primary options. You have leveling, you have increasing the star count, and you also have increasing the gear tiers. And the one that I think is going to trap a lot of people is the stars, because those start to get really expensive as you go up the star levels. For instance, 1, 2, and 3 are relatively cheap. You get an easy, level 1, you don't have to upgrade there. A 2-star is about 900 gold. A 3-star, it gets up to 19,000, and then the cost goes up exponentially from there. So up to 4-star is 80,000. Up to 5-star is going to be a whopping 150,000. 250,000 gold if you want to go up to 6 stars, and 500,000, 500,000 gold if you want to promote a character up to 7 stars. And how I've been tackling this is that if I don't need to worry about the star upgrade on a character, I don't promote them. So like my campaign characters, if I take them up to 3 stars, that's about where I'm going to stop with them, because I don't need higher stars on them. There's no event that requires higher stars on them. The only stars I'm currently worried about are my elves for the Lord Elrond Legendary, and also my Road to Rivendell team, because I need them at 4 stars to do the Sam event. So that's really the only place I'm worrying about the star upgrades. And that's also something I want to talk about here, and I'm going to give a big shout out to Philly, who has been doing these infographics in terms of like showing like your best stat increases, which also goes to show like where you want to focus on your gold. And star increases are way less efficient in terms of increasing a character's power and their stats versus something like gear tiers. So for instance, you can see here, we're going up star levels here. A 2, 3, and 4 star, you're getting about a 4 to 5% stat increase across the board. A 5-star increase, which costs 150,000 gold, you're getting up closer to about 8%. Same with level 6, or sorry, 6-star character. And then once you go up to 7 stars, this is where you start to get to a 10 to 11% stat increase. But in terms of gold, that's really not efficient, because all you have to do is go and look at the stat increases you get with gear, and you can see you get a much better return in terms of stats as you go up each of these. So for instance, gear tier 2 at 4 stars, you're getting about 6% in health, focus, and resistance, but you're getting these massive boosts in damage and armor. You get that as well with tier 3, with tier 4, and it kind of equalizes, but not in terms of health, or sorry, not in terms of damage and armor dropping down, but health, focus, and resistance start to increase way more at this point. So gear 5 is where you start to get these really huge increases, and gear 5 on a character is actually going to be quite a bit more efficient in terms of gold. So for instance, if I'm taking these characters up to tier 7, we're looking at about 150,000 gold to go up to tier 7 with Frodo here. And if you go back and look at this with tier 7, look at these huge stat increases. 150,000 gold here for around a 12 to 13% stat increase across the board on average. And 150,000 gold would get me a 5-star increase, nowhere near as big as an increase here. And again, big shout out to Philly for these infographics. This is like the best evidence we can show in terms of what's your most efficient way to increase your stats and power. These infographics are really helpful with that. But yeah, it's all about in terms of increasing stats, in terms of what's going to be your most gold efficient. Now, leveling can be an interesting one. And well, actually, we'll get to the energy per gold cost here shortly. But you can see as you level up your characters as well, which you will need to do naturally if you are looking to increase your gear tiers. So leveling and gear tiers kind of go hand in hand as well, where you don't really need to worry about levels for increasing your stars. But if you're going to be using your gold to level up your characters, you might as well be using that as well to increase your gear tiers at the same time, because you can't do one without the other. So gold, you can see here, those gold increases get exponentially more expensive when you get about to level 35. You get this huge increase here, and then it levels back out about level 50, where it's a more even plane, but those level 35 to 50 is going to be incredibly expensive. And that is something as well you have to keep in mind, is that you're going to be spending a lot of gold on increasing those levels too. But the return on the gear, the return on the leveling up those gear tiers and leveling up the character overall is just going to be a way more efficient way to spend your gold. The stars are really only here if you need to use the character in some type of event. Again, like a legendary event or the Sam's adventure. That's the only time you really should be worrying about stars, especially if you're going beyond 3 stars on a character. There's really more efficient ways to be spending that gold in terms of increasing stats on a character. So beyond that, we also have to talk about what's the most efficient way to be farming gold. And what I have been doing, and what I think a lot of people do, is they go for the highest tier of guild battles. Now, keep in mind, as it stands right now, we have 2 elves we have to farm within the guild battles. You have Elrohir and Naramiri, both within here. And my goal pretty much was that I farmed enough shards on them to get up to be able to take them to both 5 stars. And then after that, I start going for the highest level of energy, or highest level guild battle I can do. Because as you see here, you look at this, 10 energy per guild battle at 935 gold per win here. But if you go up to level 4, you look at this, 1100 gold per 10 energy. So, for instance, if I do 10 guild battles, I'm getting a little over 11,000 gold here. But if I did 10 guild battles at chapter 3, I'd get somewhere around 9,300. So you're talking about a 2,000 gold difference already per 100 energy spent. That doesn't seem like a lot in the short term, but over time, that's really going to be building up. And what I've been using my gems are on my guild energy refreshes. I don't go up to the 200 gem refreshes. I just do my 100 energy refreshes on guild battles. This is going to get me a solid amount of gold, and you're also going to need to be farming a lot of these rare ability materials. These are another crunch in the game, and they take a long time to farm, especially once you get to level 5 abilities. Those things will also require like 100, 130, a lot. I haven't even seen what level 6 ability requires yet, and I'm kind of terrified to see what that's going to involve. I imagine it's going to be close up to 200 rare ability materials for a level 6 ability. That terrifies me, honestly. But yeah, this is going to be your most efficient way. And also, we don't know, I can't access Chapter 5 yet. I know it's here, because I also know that Philly has an infographic on this. And you can see here, you can see your gold per energy spent. And you have your guild battles here, and you can see as you go up your chapters on the guild battles, that it gets a huge increase. And Chapter 5 is going to be getting you 130 gold per energy spent, about 13,000 gold per 100 energy. So that is going to be a solid return there. But also, you're going to notice here, your regular campaign chapters, as you go up the chapters, you get more efficient in terms of your gold. And this is where I've also been with farming gear. If I go and look for, let's say for instance, I'm farming up luminous and shadow crystals right now. I'm trying to hoard. I'm sitting at like 250 shadow crystals, which is, it seems like a lot, but that's going to go in a second. If I go and look here at my luminous crystals, and I try to farm them, I've got to get up to chapter 4 here. But you can see 16 energy per battle here, and shadow campaign 4-6 for the luminous crystals. But if I was to do 3-8, that is 12 gold or 12 energy per battle. But you can see 12 energy plus versus 16 energy, I'm getting almost double the gold here in terms of what I'm getting from these. So yeah, you're spending about 20 more energy, but you're getting double the gold, which I think is very efficient. Now, energy can be a little premium in terms of having to spend gems to refresh it. This is where I'm doing the 50 gem refreshes on energy if I need to here. But yeah, if you can farm gear in a higher chapter within the game, I recommend you push for that, because you will get better gold from it. Let's see if we can find one that goes across. Let's see if we have one that goes across. Yeah, here we go. Right here. So, for instance, or no, sorry, no, those are all normal. I wish there was I don't know if there's one here, but I mean, also look at this. Look at this. So, a hard chapter here versus a normal chapter here. 12 energy gets you 560 gold. 8 energy gets you 500 gold. So if you want to do hard versus normal farming, I'd recommend normal farming, because you're going to get a little more efficient here in terms of your gold as well. 4 less energy for only 60 less gold, 500 versus 560. I'd say it's a pretty good return. So it's all about finding the most efficient place to be spending your energy in terms of farming that gold. You do want to make sure you're spending your gold for upgrading characters on gear tiers and leveling. Those are going to be way more efficient in terms of increasing your power. If there's any other questions you guys have about efficient ways of spending your gold or using that farm up gold, let me know down below. Again, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Questions, concerns, comments, thoughts, ideas, drop them down below as well. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.